Hello and welcome to this week's Fundamental Friday. This week we will discuss Tezos. Tezos is another competitor in the fintech market. They want to facilitate more transactions, cheaper transactions, and faster transactions. If we go to the key points, so the first key is secure. Tezos is designed to provide the safety and code correctness required for assets and other high value use cases. It native smart contract language, Michelson, so they have their own smart contract language, facilitates formal verification. And formal verification is that you create a program that continuously attacks Tezos and tries actively to find mistakes and problems in the system. So instead of waiting for you to be hacked, this program is actively running for worst case scenarios. And this also happens, as it mentions, in aerospace, nuclear, and semiconductor industries, where it's obviously very important that when you send something to Mars, that you don't only figure out at Mars that there is a problem in the system. So Tezos is continuously tested. The second part is that it's upgradable to the state of the art. Tezos modular architecture and formal upgrade mechanism allow the network to propose and adopt new technologies, innovations smoothly as they emerge. Since blockchain is a very new industry, you can see that it's continuously updating. So something that now is very popular is proof of stake. Proof of work is actually not really used anymore because it's inefficient, environmental unfriendly, and expensive. So Ethereum already went to proof of stake, and a lot of other blockchains are doing the same. And Bitcoin is actually the only original proof of work. And it's important that blockchains can always update to the newest technology that is around, and Tezos can do this. It's open participation and incentive alignment. Unlike proof of work and other proof of stake networks, all stakeholders can help secure the network via baking or delegating and avoid being diluted by inflation. So baking is the same as staking, but it's only used in Tezos terms. And delegating means that in order to have your own node at Tezos, meaning that you verify transactions all by yourself without a pool, you need 10,000 Tezos. And a lot of people are not willing to spend it because one Tezos is already around the $5 mark. So you need $50,000 in order to verify nodes. So a lot of people go into pools, but we will go back into that later on. So what is Tezos? What is Tezos staking, baking? As I said, staking in Tezos, we call it baking, is a generalized concept of participation in the process of forming blocks in any blockchain based on the proof of stake consensus algorithm. How I always explain staking, it's practically the same as how dividends in stocks work. So you buy a participation in a company by buying a stock. By buying this currency, you buy a participation in Tezos. And what do you get? Rewards is a percentage of the profit. And in Tezos, it's called baking, while in stocks, you receive dividends for your participation. So that's how I understand staking and how I would explain it. What is Tezos delegation? Delegation is when you delegate your stake baking rights to another person. We call it the baker. So instead of the staker, it's the baker. Rather than setting your own Tezos node. Is staking delegation safe? Delegation in Tezos is absolutely safe. Your funds are not locked or frozen or do not move anywhere. So if you join a mining pool, you pay a fee. So the owner of the mining pool is making money based on the fact that you stake with him, but at least you get some rewards if you don't have the $50,000 to spend on 10,000 Tezos. So then we go to some partnerships. So they Tezos partnered up with Microsoft, looking for 100 enterprise-ready blockchain solutions in India. India is one of the upcoming markets. There's a lot of technology in there, so I think this is a great point and a great news for Tezos. According to the Limbos Labs, the goal of the Century Program initiative is to first find 100 Indian startups with ready-to-go blockchain projects solutions, and then assist them in rolling out by partnering with Microsoft, Tezos, Skoda, and Tech Mahindra to ease the part the path to the market. The program is especially looking for blockchain solutions in the following sector. As you can see, you have different sectors. So it's 100 projects that will be built on Tezos, and Microsoft will help through mentorship, streamline go-to-the-market activities, and access to its technology resources. So yeah, that's another 100 opportunities to add to Tezos, and this would make Tezos more valuable. Then another news that I wanted to share is that they partnered up with Travala. I'm not sure if you already heard from Travala, but they want to be a decentralized travel agency. So you can book flights, you can book hotels, you can book stays, you can book trips on Travala. And now you are able to buy travel products, over 3 million travel products with your Tezos coin. So this is a good way to spend, and you get discount on products and cashbacks. Then the two founders. There was not a lot of information on the main website. As you could see, I went through it very quickly. So the first founder is Arthur Breitman. Arthur Breitman is the CTO of Dynamic Ledger Solutions, which is leading the Tezos project. In the early life, he is raised in France. He has a master in mathematics, so he will understand like the language of code. Arthur was an associate at Goldman Sachs and later a vice president at Morgan Stanley. So this man has a lot of banking experience that he can definitely use in his fintech Tezos project. And he did this together with his spouse Kathleen Breitman, which I found here. So Kathleen is the co-founder and CEO at Tezos. She also had experience in consulting, Accenture. She's been vice president of R&M Political, and she has some experiences, but not a very strong background in finance and in coding. So then we go to the Twitter. On Twitter, we find 100K followers, which is decent. It's quite high. Here again, to remember, secure, upgradable, built to last. Tezos is an open source platform for assets and application backed by a global community of validators, researchers, and builders. You can see that they are reporting quite frequent about updates and improvements on the system. And that said, let's go to the price. So we go to CoinCheckup as normally. As you can see, we are almost hitting the $6 mark for Tezos. There is currently only 700 million in supply, 765 million in supply, which is not that much. They're on rank 30, so they seem to be a reasonable low risk investment because they're in the top 50, let's say, top 30. They have been going quite well for the last months and the last year as well. If we go back to the max, they already reached their new all-time high last year. Then this year they reached it again in February, and now they're on again a new all-time high. They actually started their project just after the big bubble of 2018, so it was not a great moment to start, but nobody knows that in advance. It is available on a lot of markets, as you can see here. It's almost available everywhere. Then let's have a deeper look at the price prediction, which we go to TradingView. So practically since the beginning of this year, we have a trend line that it's following. The prediction that I have for Tezos by this year is in between $15 and $25. This is due to the relatively low supply there is, the 765 million. And we still have the bull run. We are in the middle of the bull run. We still have a couple of months to go. And with the more projects and the more ways you can spend your Tezos, I see this as a very good project for in the future. So that said, that's the end of this video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Let me also know if you are looking forward to analyze some other currencies or other projects, because I would be happy to look into that. So have a nice weekend and speak to you soon. Bye.